The other day, I was talking with my friend Judy, and we were talking about how words can change your life. And I could not help but tell her the story of my friend Dan. I met Dan on Match.com probably 10 years ago. You know, we were trying to match up to see if we wanted to, date and get married. It ended up that he and I were not a match for that. However, we became friends. And when he would call me and ask me to go out with him and go to a movie or something like that, sometimes I would have to tell him no. And he said, well, I guess I'll go by myself. And it would just drain the energy out of him, and also it would drain the energy out of me. Well, after some time, when we became good friends and I could be really candid with him, I said, Dan, don't you think it would sound better if you went with yourself instead of by yourself, just like Eeyore in the Christopher Robin series? So after a time, he started saying, I'm going to go with myself. And he even went over to the Mellow Mushroom. He bought 12 roses and gave a rose to each one of the servers. They were so excited that the next time that he came in, what did they do? It was like the show Cheers. Yay, Dan! They were excited. And of course his self-esteem was raising. He was feeling so good about himself. So what I did next was I taught him how to dance. And we went out dancing. He ran into a lady and they danced all night long. For 4 hours they danced. He came back and sat down when she had to leave, and I said, what is her name? And he said, I don't know. And I said, oh my gosh, you danced with her for 4 hours and you didn't know her name? And he said, no. I said, well, next time. So the next time we ran into her, he came and sat down again, and I said, what's her name? And he said, I don't know. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm so frustrated. So the third time, I wasn't going to let this pass by, and what I did was I went over to her and I said, what is your name and what is your number? Do you mind if he calls you? And she said no. Well, long story short, because Roddy's making me, long story short is that they've been married for 6 years, and I was the best man and the maid of honor in the wedding. Thanks.